Hi everyone, we're gonna get started in a bit. We're just waiting for things to settle in a little bit. Just thank you for your patience. We'll get started in about a couple minutes. Okay. Okay, do we have quorum for board members?
Let me go ahead and count. I've got Alex, Betty, Cami, Elizabeth Espinosa, Joan, Joseph Allen, Sophia, Todd. Let me scroll down. Vonda Zoe, that's 10. So
Perfect.
yes, we do.
Perfect. Thank you.
And
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. As you can see, today's meeting is a bit different than the last two meetings that we did, mainly because we did have to do some provisions because there will be, because today is a special meeting in that, firstly, we do have a closed session tonight, which will actually happen nearing the beginning of the meeting, and also because today we will not be having the normal committee reports and the like, because today is in essence just a continuation, if you will, of the business that needed to happen during the annual meeting. So with that, just a couple things, and then we will get started as always with public comment. But first, because today is actually a meeting in Zoom terms rather than a webinar, the procedure for public comment is going to be a bit different than what you were used to for the last two meetings. So what we're asking is that everyone who wants to speak will get a chance to do so. But what needs to happen is Kate and Rhiannon will address the folks who are joining Zoom with video first. Then we're gonna ask that you write your questions or comments into the Zoom chat box. Folks will be acknowledged in the order that they were received in the box, and people will get unmuted and according to that order, so that they can speak with us on the board. Once the chat questions are acknowledged, we will move to the folks that are calling in. Kate, as the Zoom host, or Rhiannon, will unmute the call-in participants. Kate, you can interrupt me if I'm saying any of this incorrectly and you want something different, but...
Yeah, I just wanted to remind all of you who are on the phone, star 6 will unmute you and star 9 will raise your hand, and it'll bring you to the top of my list. So again, if you're on the phone, you are able to use those buttons, and so that's how we can acknowledge you, and then we'll ask you or give you the ability to unmute, okay? Thank you, Sophia.
No problem.
Sophia, this is Alex. Can I just clarify one thing for the public comment section? Because you don't have to have a question. If you want to make a public comment, you can just indicate that you'd like to make public comments. It doesn't have to necessarily be phrased in the form of a question, right?
Absolutely, Alex.
Okay.
I was actually going to get to that. But thank you for that clarification. So everyone, again, who would like to speak will get a chance to speak. However, in order to accommodate everyone who wishes to speak, we ask that you keep your comments to, whether that be a question or a statement, to 2 minutes. And remember that this time is not for a back and forth dialogue between individuals, rather individual remarks. So we just want to keep the back and forth. That if you need to have a conversation with someone that it involves back and forth, that's better to have at a different moment, but it's definitely not designed for public comment. So 2 minutes, we're asking that to be your max for public comment. And with that, we will begin public comment. And thank you all for your patience and flexibility on this.
Alrighty, I am monitoring. I do see that Judy Mark is wanting to make a comment. So Judy, I will go ahead and ask you to unmute, and you should be able to unmute and speak.
Hi, everybody. I'll make sure, there we go, so you can actually see me. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sophia.
Hello.
Just a couple of quick things. First, wanted to just tell everybody who's on the call that Disability Voices United is starting a project. We've been working on the coronavirus crisis for many, many months, and we're doing our 17th and potentially last for a long time webinar tomorrow on self-advocacy and how it reduces anxiety and other issues. But starting next week, we're going to be turning our attention to the election in November on ensuring that we're getting people with disabilities and their families filling out the census, registering to vote, and understanding the issues that they're voting on and the candidates that they're voting on. We're doing this along with the Association of Regional Centers, the State Council, Disability Rights California, and many other of the great disability organizations in the state, as well as a lot of providers, service providers. So hope that we're going to start this next week and hope that you'll be involved. Just the final thing I wanted to say is, I know, Sophia, this may, if I have this right, be your last meeting that you are chairing, and I just want to thank you for the incredible job you've done for the regional center, as well as the other board members who are stepping down. And I know that you are volunteers and have dedicated yourself an incredible amount of hours to leading our regional center. And we admire you. We support you in any way we can, and just send a big virtual hug and thanks for all that you've done.
Alrighty. Anybody else? I don't see hands raised. I don't see anybody in the chat. Give it a few more. Felicia, I'm gonna go ahead. I do see you in two places at once, so I'm gonna ask both of them to unmute. If the real Felicia can go ahead and unmute and go ahead and comment.
Okay, hope this works.
Hi, Felicia, we can hear
Hi there.
you.
Good. So I just wanted to make a comment that I just wanted to ask a question. There'll be room for public comment in our traditional fashion towards the end or after other people have spoken, because I think this is a night of enlightenment and clarity, and I really want to be in sequence with what goes on or the conversations that'll be had. So we'll have another chance to speak at a later point after other people have had a chance to present, I guess.
As always, Felicia, there will be public comment at the end of the meeting as well.
Good enough.
And-
I'll reserve until that time.
And everybody did get a copy. If you were registered for this meeting by 5:30 p.m., you did get a copy of our agenda as well as the board slate and the meeting minutes from last month, which will be approved. So y'all can kind of keep track of what we're doing in this new format. Alrighty, I do see a question from Wesley. Wesley, if you want to go ahead, I just asked you to unmute if you wanted to make your comment. Looks like
Sure.
you're on, we can hear you.
Okay, let me put my video on. So, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, so what do you do about people? What are you gonna do about people at Regional Center that are isolated and lonely? That's my question. Can you hear me now? I'm having technical difficulties.
No, hi Wesley, we can hear you. I don't know if somebody from Regional Center wanted to address.
Oh.
Hi Wesley, this is Tom. I'm just kind of following the format. I think the awkwardness, we didn't want to get into a back and forth conversation. I think the forum was to make a comment, but your comment is well received and it is a good question. You know, what going forward? I think this is a big problem for all of us, is really trying to figure out how we're trying to see ways that we can virtually connect and be creative right now. But it's a good question, and I don't want to get into a conversation because I'm trying to respect the forum, but I think it's a really good point and something that we're definitely thinking about.
Just to clarify, I don't want to cut off dialogue. I do think that there are moments where if somebody has a concrete question that somebody has an answer to, that it's fine to answer, but we just don't want to extend those conversations to longer, more overarching conversations. But I do want to give people the opportunity to get simple, and not simple, but they're direct questions. If there is an answer, go ahead and answer.
Okay, Liz Spencer had a comment. Hi Liz, you're unmuted.
Hi, I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
Comment, after the last board meeting, I had some staff and some parents ask me about what a board member, Alejandro Soshin, meant when he said a couple of times that once he no longer had fiduciary duty to Westside Regional Center, that he would be kind of in essence spilling the beans, or it was interpreted as there must be something he knew that he couldn't say now, but would be saying in the future. And I would be paraphrasing, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. I believe I understood the direction he was going in, but I also understand the way it was received by some in our community that was just not comfortable. If there is some information that board members have that they feel like that they can't share until they get off of the board, I would really encourage you to be as courageous as I know you all are and stand up and say it now. Because I don't want the community feeling like we're keeping secrets from them, because there are no secrets being kept. And it does nobody any service to feel this level of insecurity right now. So maybe some clarity on that point would be really helpful.
So Sophia, should I try to address that? I mean, I feel like
Absolutely. Do you have public comment as well, Alex? Go for it.
I don't know how someone could have interpreted my comments about my when my term ended. All I said was that I wanted to continue the fight to address the systemic challenges that the people we serve face. And even if I was not going to be serving in a fiduciary capacity, I was still going to be very supportive of the people and the clients and the people we served who are fighting for their rights. And I did not mean to imply or to state that I knew something or was going to spill beans about anything, and that if I had information, I wasn't going to share it until I stepped down from the board. So I will say something just without belaboring it, but this is kind of the type of thing that I think makes this such a challenging environment to be a volunteer on a board like regional centers. And that is how comments get spun and sifted through a whole host of channels and twisted out of all, meaning and intent. And I apologize if I didn't make myself more explicit, but all I meant to say was that I was very committed to fighting for the rights of people who we serve, and that was not going to stop, even though my time and my tenure on the board might be coming to an end. So I apologize for any insecurity or any uncertainty or any other interpretations that people may have had about my statements, and that was not my intent. I greatly apologize, and I just want to clarify that.
Anyone else?
I don't see any more hands and I don't have any more chats. Just as a reminder, as Dr. Vergara said, there will be another opportunity for public comment, question, etc. Towards the end as usual. So
At this point, what I would like to do is hand it over to Nilo for approval of last meeting's minutes, and then members of the board, we will be going into a Zoom breakout room for a closed session, and then we will return for the remainder, which will be the election of the new board and board slate of officers. But Nilo, I will hand it over to you right now for approval of the minutes.
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the board minutes of July the 8th. Is there a second?
I second.
And who was that?
It's either me or Zoe.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? Public comment on the minutes? All right. So all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed?
Aye.
All those abstaining?
I'm abstaining. I didn't get a copy, sorry.
And who is this?
Elizabeth Espinosa.
Okay. The motion is passed. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, members of the board, Kate will now put us into a breakout room for closed session. Public, thank you very much for your flexibility on this. We will return after closed session.
Alrighty, folks. So I'm going to automatically be putting you in there. What this is it's a sidebar type of room. You'll be able to see each other and speak to each other. You will not be able to hear or see us, and we will not be able to hear or see you. You will be in there of your own accord. You will be able to leave and come back to this space whenever you'd like. Claudia, you're sharing your video. by accident.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I'm going to be putting those in there. Board members, if I've left anybody
Kate?
behind. Hi.
Kate, hi, this is Nilo.
Hi, Nilo.
As we discussed, the facilitator and also Rich Fry, as we discussed earlier, into the room.
Yes, and
Thank you.
I was just going to say, if I forget any of you, just say something and I'll put you in there. It's not a locked space per se, okay? Looks like I'm gonna have to go ahead and do that right now, so. And I apologize, please bear with me. I do have to do this by hand.
Thank you.
For those that are sticking around waiting kind of while the board is in their closed session, we thought that we would show everybody some highlights from an LGBTQ plus Pride event that we held in June. So we're gonna play that and kind of just take you through some of our other videos that you can find on our YouTube channel. So a little bit of entertainment while we wait.
Rhiannon,
Yep.
I thought I saw Cammie. Has she not been let into the room?
I'm not actually controlling that, so.
Sorry, Cammie, yes, I have to put everybody in by hand, and they're not alphabetical, and I tried to pre-assign it, and it obviously didn't work. So I've
got your back, Cammie.
I'm scrolling. There she is. I have to visually find each one of them and place them in. So my apologies to y'all. I haven't forgotten you. I just have to find you.
Hey, Kate, when you do have them all in there, just let me know. I won't block it by sharing the screen so that you can.
Oh, no, you can share. I should be able to ignore what you're doing.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for joining, and we're really excited about this Pride event, our second annual Westside Regional Center Pride event. This is the first time we've done it virtually, and we have some amazing artists to share with you this morning. So
to pursue their dreams. He is an advocate for racial and gender equality and a very selfless person. Alex is a passionate writer who dares to dream. Here's to the ones who dream. And now I'm going to bring on Veronica Mills, my co-host, who is going to read the first poem for us. Veronica?
Hi, everyone. This is Resisting Arrest by Alex Andy Fung. Uniting uniformed unity, you and I defy the sky. Teamwork and collaboration, up to personal discretion, civil rights, civility. Minorities against majorities, stick to the status quo. But should we? Really? Defy the stars and seek new avenues. Harness the power of creativity. Emerge with sense and sensibility. Utopia was created and conceived by Thomas More, but we all must strive for more. For he was a man for all seasons. Arrest might be criminal, but people cannot be subliminal. If they want to break free, listen to the words of wisdom for me. Know thyself, be thyself harmoniously. That was Resist by Alex Andy Fung.
Sir Lady Java, this was her performing name. And Sir Lady Java was one of the first Black transgender activists within the Los Angeles area. So part of what we have in our methodology of why we're doing this is also because we want to highlight the legacy of resistance that has occurred within the LGBT community. And it's at a particularly important moment right now with the Black Lives Matter movement. And we're showing how these movements are both part of the same continuum. So let me just tell you a little bit about Sir Lady Java. So Sir Lady Java was born in 1943. And she was an American transgender rights activist, an exotic dancer, a singer, comedian, and actress. She was active on stage, television, radio, and film from the mid-1960s and 1970s.
Honor all of us. I have a transgender daughter. Say her name. I don't want her to be another one. So for the Black queer community, there's that intersectionality. It's not just one. We don't want to fear for our lives because of police brutality, but we're also worried about the community. So right now, more than ever, please protect us all, not just one, but all, because being gay, being queer, being trans adds that extra layer of worry. And it's a civil rights issue. It's not just a Black civil rights issue. It's an all civil rights issue. And we have to respect and honor that. So if now more than ever, people are home, people are quarantined, people see what's happening, see this also. I'm pleading with you all, see this also. It's important. Don't just let the momentum die now. Say their names.
And we want to be able to allow people to show their pride through their art. The first artist that we're going to introduce is Starving Darling. I'm going to read her bio. Starving Darling is a solo indie rock act by frontwoman Shane Gray Holzman. Starving Darling has played the Mint LA, Silver Lake Lounge.
I can't stop. I can't think. 'Cause I'm so attracted to hot pink. Thanks. Also, if you want to check my songs out on Spotify, you can check Starving Darling EP on Spotify, and my Instagram is Starving Darling Music. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. I think that's my new favorite song. I love that song.
Hi. I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you for your comments, and I'm excited to be part of the Zoom. I've never been part of a Pride before, so it's really cool. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for your bravery, Shane.
As we continue on with our event, although it's not amazing kind of being quarantined and in this environment where we're not really able to do all the things we would normally want to do, what an opportunity to all come together and just share our art and see each other's faces. And, we have participants who have contributed their work from all across California. We're going to see work from other parts of the country. So, there's definitely some upsides to all this. And with that being said, I'm actually going to bring on our first visual artist. And Sophie, I see that you're here. I was told that you wanted to share a statement about your piece. So I'm going to pull up your piece titled Self-Portrait. And if everyone can welcome Sophie. Sophie, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, I am very nervous, but I'm excited to be here. I'm gonna read the thing that I wrote. Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm not a girly girl. I'm a tomboy. My art piece is titled My Self-Portrait. I see myself as a superhero because I'm strong. I don't let people mean words hurt me. I keep myself positive. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie. I would just love to invite anyone who wants to maybe share an emotion that they're feeling when they're seeing this incredible piece about Sophie the superhero. If you want to just go ahead and add to the chat box just what comes to mind for you as you're taking this wonderful piece in. And Sophie, thank you so much for your bravery. I know it's not easy to kind of get on and talk in a room of faces, but you're incredible, and we love this piece. Thank you so much. So we have Joy. Someone shared Joy, that Sophie, you are indeed a superhero, which is so true. Strength, incredible. Some feel empowered. Go ahead.
You.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I've never been to a Pride event like this. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. This is
Try not to look back, whether it was good, bad, hanging with my hood rats, notebooks in a book bag full of punchlines. Took jack, but took that as a sign, dyed my hair blue. Here's something to look at. I didn't need to fit in, I fit almost anywhere. Sparked both lit ends and got away with murder. You should have heard her. Punk young buck, act to the back. Word up, also.
This series is called Automatic. It is actually dedicated to someone I know who may or may not be diagnosed with a certain disorder. But yeah, this first piece you're looking at, body language, I actually performed during my final. It was very nerve-wracking.
Thank you, Maria. It's also beautiful. In case you're not seeing in the chat, everyone agrees with that and says beautiful and meaningful images. Oh, I'm sorry, that was in regards to Dustin. Congratulations, Maria, on graduating. And then beautiful pieces. Congratulations, Maria. Your art is beautiful, Maria. Your art and titles are so beautiful and amazing. What an inspiring piece.
I think we've seen a lot of ways that people express their pride. I think we want to open it up so that we can share how we might celebrate our own pride and how we might help others to celebrate their pride if they're not able to express themselves. So I want to open it up.
Go ahead. I'm really happy to be at this event, and I hope it still goes on and meet new people.
More events to meet more gay and
I would like more events to meet new gay and
LGBT artists. Pride isn't just like, what is it that I can do the best of to get through the day, or like, at least for me, I try to find a passion that speaks louder than my pain.
In this process, we really, really appreciate our agency being supportive of us doing this event. And so thanks again. Have a great rest of your day. We're going to have a little dance party now.
Hi, Sal. Listen, I'm on a board meeting right now. Can we talk after?
Thank you so much to the Pride team and for all of those participants. That was pre-recorded from when we did it live, but thank you so much to all of them. Felicia had messaged me. The artist Lady Java is actually related to her. Felicia, if you want to go ahead and unmute and tell us a little bit more about her.
Hi, Sir Lady Java was my aunt, and our family's from Louisiana, and it's just probably just a very traditional place. Not probably, it is a very traditional place to be from, and I know how many challenges she had because I was a child. She and my mom were born in the same year, 1943, and she was just a showstopper, literally and figuratively. And she was one of the first LGBTQ just activists, not only trans, but she was the one that really challenged LAPD at a time when you had to have 3 items or 3 garments on that belonged to your birth gender, or you were going to jail. And so she was just outspoken, and I just admired her so much, especially coming from where our family comes from in Louisiana. It's very, you know, for us, Catholic and very religious and very private and very secretive and things like that. And I would always hear these whispers about her, but all it did was intrigue me. You know, wherever she was, I would look at her clothes, and she was our Josephine Baker, quite frankly. And I just always admired her bravada. And wherever she went, people would just follow her because she was very different, you know. And she was always just outspoken in the support of other people, anyone that was different. I don't care if it was someone with a disability, someone from another country that didn't speak the language. Everyone was family when they were around her. And I missed this event, and Kate went through so much, Kate, not just Kate, but Megan too, went through so much effort to put this together. But I had a family that had an emergency, and I had to support. But she's just amazing in every way. And she was just so calm and patient, but she was a firecracker. And I just always admired her. I just wanted to be like her because she was so consistent, and she was so solid, and there were no closed doors and windows with her. When it was time to have a conversation, we had that conversation. And I just admired her and her struggle and stuff, and how she opened the door for so many people to make it comfortable at a time when she went to jail, quite frankly, quite a bit, just to be able to wear what she wanted to wear, be who she was, and be accepted, and make it comfortable for other people, because they weren't just closeted. These were trans women who, you know, if we're having a hard time dealing with this in 2020, imagine what it was like for her coming from Lafayette, Louisiana to Los Angeles and being a performer and all that stuff. So she was a spectacle, and she was just really well sought out in the community with voices. Anytime there were committees to be had or voices that needed to be heard, people would want her to go with her. And of course, she had to have a complete entourage with her because of safety issues. And things are not a whole lot different these days. Sometimes our trans women still have a lot of safety concerns, like where they have to be escorted, and especially trans women of color in particular, because we still have this racial issue that we're dealing with today. And I just wanted to honor her and say that she was wonderful, and she's worth looking up and Googling, because the stuff she did was so way out back then. Even for the 60s and early 70s, it was so way out. She just had no fear, and she approached everything with no fear. And she used to tell me back in the day, and I don't even know where the acronym came from, but fear is false evidence appearing real. And I have to think back sometimes. I'm nothing like my mom, somewhat like my dad, but a hell of a lot like Sir Lady Java, you know, my aunt. And so just wanted to acknowledge her and share that.
Thank you so much, Felicia. And I'm getting a lot of comments. Folks are saying thank you so much for sharing. It's so wonderful to hear this story. You know, thank you for your comments. So really cool. And like she said, if y'all want to know more about Sir Lady Java, definitely Google. And you can also reach out to the folks here at WRC for more information about Pride and what we've been doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you so much, Felicia, as one of the co-hosts of the event. We were so grateful to be able to showcase your aunt and her story, and that was really special and memorable for us. So thank you so much for that opportunity.
Thank you.
And, you know, we're really looking forward to the event next year. We're going to be doing it annually. So yeah, hopefully maybe this one won't be virtual, we'll see, but we wanted to make the most of it this year, and being able to share Sir Lady Java's story was truly special. So thanks so much.
Fingers crossed for next year.
Yeah, we'll see. While we're still waiting, I'm just going to pull up our YouTube channel. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, you can see some of the videos that we have on there. So, Sandy, are you, well, actually, I would have to unmute you, but Sandy, she she's with us at Westside. She does some incredible work on our YouTube channel, kind of uploading all of our trainings and meetings and events, things that we're able to record, especially now, kind of, I guess, thanks to COVID, but we've been able to really build up this library. So since her and some of our other team members have worked really hard on these videos, I wanted to take the opportunity to just share some of them. So I'll just go ahead and hit play.
Westside Regional Center is one of 21 regional centers throughout the state of California. We support individuals with developmental disabilities such as autism, intellectual disability, cerebral palsy, and epilepsy. Our mission is to empower people with disabilities to choose and access services in order to have a quality of life similar to those without disabilities. We are funded by the state of California to provide diagnosis and assessment of eligibility and to help plan, coordinate, and monitor services needed because of a developmental disability. There is no charge for diagnosis and eligibility assessments, and once an individual is determined eligible, Westside Regional Center can provide services from birth throughout their lifespan. We will work together to reach your goals. However, we may have some disagreements about service requests or denial of eligibility. If any disagreements occur, you always have the right to appeal. This process is called fair hearing, and our staff will be able to assist you. Once you are eligible for services, your main contact at Westside Regional Center will be a service coordinator. This person will listen to your needs, inform you about services and supports available to you, and support you and your family in making choices for the future. You can also get involved in many groups led by self-advocates who are part of a Westside Regional Center, or you can seek informational and emotional supports from the parent-led Westside Family Resource and Empowerment Center. You can find more information on our website.
And I know y'all are still here. We're just gonna keep on showing those videos. The board is in contact with me via phone just to let me know they're still in the meeting. So we're gonna keep on rolling and keep on enjoying all of these resources. Again, these are on our YouTube, so y'all can see them at your convenience as well.
Yeah, just to clarify, to find our YouTube channel, you would just simply go to the YouTube website and type in Westside Regional Center, and you would be able to go straight to this channel with all the different videos you're seeing.
Receiving a diagnosis that your infant or child has a developmental disability or medical diagnosis can be life-altering for families. Parents and extended family need a great deal of support and information at this critical time in their family's journey. Having access to other parents and family members who have been in their shoes provides essential emotional and informational support to families. That is where Westside Family Resource and Empowerment Center comes in. Our center provides support, information, and guidance through a variety of support groups, workshops, trainings, and parent-to-parent support.
I'm a proud parent of two amazing children on autism spectrum. I am a proud founder of the Ethiopian support group here at Westside. I am now an outreach and resource coordinator where I get to share valuable resources to the community we serve, through which I'm able to offer educational support to families who have children with IEPs but do not qualify for regional center services.
John is my middle son. He is diagnosed with cerebral palsy and is quite significantly medically challenged. Throughout the years, I've been able to learn so much and help my son and other families by providing parent-to-parent support, resources, and helping them navigate various systems of care. One of our goals is to have parents feel they have a safe place, they have support, and someone they can relate to.
You might have just received a difficult diagnosis, or your child is turning 3 and you're not sure what to do next.
My oldest son, Jace, brought me into this field when he was diagnosed at birth with Down syndrome and a congenital heart defect. It was other parents who had been there, walked this path before me, who became my greatest teachers. It has been one of my life's greatest privileges to be able to provide that same support and information to all of you.
Perhaps you have a child who is struggling in school and you need assistance with navigating the school system. Or your child is transitioning out of school and needs help with accessing adult services.
My siblings are my motivation and the reason why I became so involved at a young age. And it's the reason why I now work here at the Family Resource Center. I get to help parents find resources outside of our center, anywhere from tutoring to fun summer classes for their children. I also work facilitating our SIP Shop support group, which is for our siblings who have a special SIP. When I was younger, I was a part of the SIP Shop group as a participant SIP and later on became a mentor.
If you are in need of specific training and conference opportunities, guidance in navigating generic resources like in-home supported services, Department of Rehabilitation, and supplemental security income, or most importantly, parent-to-parent support, we are here for you.
I'm the proud parent of 3 amazing young men, one of them who is on the autism spectrum. It is because of him that I was led to a journey in family support. I have worked for 18 years in the family resource community, helping parents navigate systems of care for their children with special needs. I help parents prepare for their children's individual education plan, or IEPs, through support groups, clinics, and workshops. This allows them to understand services and supports for their child or young adult to access meaningful education through inclusion and their least restrictive environment.
Our center is fully staffed with individuals who have children or family members with developmental disabilities and or chronic medical issues.
And it's because of my daughter I learned a lot about life and the reason why I work here. Now I facilitate a support group for Spanish-speaking moms called Siempre Amigas, Forever Friends in English.
Each Westside Family Resource and Empowerment Center staff member has a unique set of experiences, skills, and knowledge that is relevant to the concerns of the families and community we serve. We look forward to meeting you.
That was our awesome Family Resource Center. So go ahead and play another one, right, Kate? We still have time?
Yes, we do. They were waiting on someone. They got a little delayed start, and so now they still have a bit to go.
The Westside Regional Center, they saved a lot of lives. They helped a lot of people.
I can say that my experience with the Westside Regional Center has been excellent.
So my experience with the Westside Regional Center is just amazing.
I learned about the Family Resource Center from a really good friend. Her son needed more support, and they received it. We were having an issue as well, so maybe they can help you too.
From very first day, I saw huge changes in his behavior. Like before, he hated me. Like he was always hitting me after his tantrums. Now he comes and kisses me. Just the biggest blessing I got now. And it's all only because of Westside Regional Center.
La primera vez que vine, me atendieron en el 4º piso, en el departamento de intake, y llegué con la recepcionista y para que me ingresaran, pero todos fueron muy amables muy amables y muy atentas.
The support and workshops that I received from the Westside Regional Center has helped me in so many ways.
Bueno, aquí en el centro regional yo pues he aprendido mucho. Ahora pues con mi hijo hablamos mejor, nos comunicamos bien y ha sido un gran apoyo el estar aquí en este lugar.
I would encourage parents to come to the regional center, bring their children. It's definitely worth it. It's a positive resource in your life.
The first time I went to the regional center, I felt great because I felt like I had someone to talk to about my problems.
Pues ahora con el apoyo yo siento que esto va a ir mejor porque yo he tenido algunas clases aquí y me han enseñado muchas cosas que yo antes desconocía.
As soon as I walked in, I felt the vibe. The people are friendly, outgoing. They have open arms. They're here to help, to work with families, and they're very caring and loving. You know, they're here to help their families and loved ones. You know,
I got so much love and support over here for myself as a parent. Like, I understand my son. I understand why he's crying. I understand what can I do for him.
They have all types of services and programs for families, from early start to transitioning into adulthood.
Yo recomiendo que todas las familias vengan y se involucren más para que vean todos los servicios que hay en el Centro Regional del Oeste y puedan tomar ventaja de todos esos buenos programas, en especial Zip Shop. El Zip Shop es un programa para los niños que tienen hermanos especiales. Eso les ayuda a ellos a ser más importantes.
I will encourage people and individuals to approach Westside Regional Center to help them achieve what they want to do in life, whenever it's a career or a college. Westside Regional Center should help them and to make them an independent person.
The Westside Regional Center is a happy service supporting. They help me with my cooking, transportations, getting into college, and going to many more activities.
If you're a parent that feels like your child needs more support, why should you be in this alone?
now with the support of the regional center, I feel like I could achieve my goals because they encourage me and they tell me I should never give up.
I think as a team, we both feel encouraged that we're getting as much help as we can thanks to this program.
Thank you, Westside Regional Center, for all the years of services that you have provided to me and my family. I am eternally grateful.
Come to the Westside Regional Center and get help. You can do it.
CAC is this Consumer Advisory Committee. It's for us, by us, for all the consumers at Westside Regional Center. We meet every month at Westside Regional Center. We oversee all the advocacy groups that meet around West LA. We're a subcommittee of the Westside Regional Center Board of Directors.
We bring our list and concerns to the board meetings, and we bring information from the board back to CAC.
CAC is also a place for us to bring ourselves into the community to help make the community aware of people with disabilities.
The Lanterman Act was passed in 1969, and where we are today is people with developmental disabilities have rights just like anybody else without a disability. People with disabilities have the right to go to school, have a right to go to college. We are living in our own places. We have a right to pick and choose where we want to live. We have jobs. We pick and choose our own friends. We have relationships.
Before the Letterman Act, people with disabilities were put in developmental centers or at home with their parents.
Before the regional centers came along, and the Lanterman Act came along, we were basically non-existent. Now we have a voice, and we can make our voice known. Deaf paying jobs at which we weren't able to do before. And the regional centers helped us with that too.
Now I have a job here at Westside Regional Center as a consumer coordinator of self-advocacy, and I also live in my own place. I have a relationship, and I have freedom and my own choices.
CAC is open to anybody over the age of 18. Once you graduated from high school, if you had developmental disabilities, you're welcome to join CAC and any of our advocacy groups that meet off-site.
There are 17 self-advocacy groups in the greater Los Angeles area.
We're in charge of the meetings. We have a say in what our self-advocacy groups do.
We are participating in different meetings, and we talk about all different kinds of things.
We teach leadership skills and how to be a good role model. We also network and work as a team.
We have the Winners Self-Advocacy Group where we do volunteering out in the community, and we also have a Friendship Network group where we talk about how to be a good friend to yourself before being a good friend to others, and we talk about appropriate relationships.
We also have the Movers, which meets every fourth Tuesday. We talk about earthquake safety and preparedness for earthquakes and disaster preparedness. We also go to meetings with state and local politicians. We meet in their offices. It helps us to become more politically aware. That's very important. And we have 2 or 3 different groups that deal exclusively with politics.
Not only can you join our groups, but you can also do some things. Have fun.
Join us for the weekend activities like bowling,
concerts, museums, fitness club. We have traveled all over with each other.
We go out in the community and we do a whole lot of fun stuff. We get around, we hang out together, and we go out to eat. The number one probably is say.
We attend the events by going on buses, by using Uber, using Access, Lyft.
For more information, you can call the service coordinator or call the front desk. You can also find me counting on the Westside.
All right, looks like we still have some time. Just for those of you that haven't been on here, just so you know, looks like Sandy was able to group the videos into kind of different categories. So we have playlists of videos, including recordings of the town hall and things like that that we've had up to this point. We have all the videos I've been showing you are either under this menu, or you can find them down here. We have the full length of the LGBTQ plus Pride celebration for those who want to view the event. We showed you 10 minutes, but the whole event was a little over an hour. I'd highly recommend it. And we've had just some different trainings on here since the coronavirus kicked off. So we've been able to store a bunch of those trainings here, including an early start webinar series for folks who are transitioning out of early start, and a couple of different videos, and they're all in English and Spanish, by the way, and then a couple of informational videos related to COVID-19. One for individuals and families, one for providers, etc. So basically any kind of trainings or events that are recorded, you can find the archive of those recordings here on our YouTube channel. Just play the next one.
This is going to be watched by people who may not have the same the same listening skills that you have. So it's important for them to hear this at a pace that they can understand too. I think that's going to be important for what you guys are doing. Okay? So don't ever feel like you're going too slowly.
What is an IPP?
IPP stands for Individual Program Plan.
We often think about IPP as just a meeting.
But it's more than that.
It is a written agreement between you and the regional center
that can help you reach the goals you have in life.
Why do we even have IPPs?
Well, it's the law in California.
Under this law, called the Lanterman Act, you have the right to make choices about your life
and to get the supports you need to be a member of your community.
You sit down with your team and service coordinator
to talk about what is happening in your life,
where you want to be in the future,
and what support you may need to get there.
The IPP allows you to receive the services you need to meet your goals.
What's so special about IPPs?
Your IPP is very important.
Because important decisions about your life are made during these meetings.
You voice your opinions
and make choices about
what you want to accomplish
and how you want to do it.
No one knows you better than you.
So come prepared and speak up.
Where do we meet?
You meet at a time and place that's best for you.
Your team and your service coordinator.
This can be at your home,
your family's home, a friend's home,
a public place like a coffee shop or restaurant,
at your regional center.
How often do I have this meeting?
You should have an IPP meeting every year around your birthday month.
Your service coordinator will call you to remind you
and to set up a time with you and your team.
But if things change or you have a problem,
you can contact your service coordinator to have it sooner.
They have 2 business days to respond to you.
Who's this team of people that you keep talking about?
Well, not everybody wants or needs to have a team of people at their IPPs.
But if you do,
invite people who you can count on for support.
And who you trust.
For example, your family.
Friends. Self-advocates. Caregivers.
Supervisors.
Or managers.
People in your life who help you,
like ILS instructors
or job coaches.
They might be able to support you in your plans for the future. Just remember to talk to them early enough
to set up a date and time
where everyone can come to your IPP meeting.
How do I prepare for the IPP?
You can make a list of ideas,
goals,
or things you want to talk about
during your IPP meeting.
If you need an interpreter or a facilitator,
a helper,
your service coordinator will help get this for you.
Just make sure you tell her or him before the meeting.
You can also reach out to self-advocates at the regional centers who are the experts in the IPP.
They can help you practice for your IPP meetings and even go to the meetings with you.
You can search for self-advocates by looking up
Consumer Advocacy Committees,
CAC, on our website.
Will I be asked anything at the IPP meeting?
The service coordinator will ask you questions about your health,
medications,
school or work,
living situation,
financial situation,
family,
vision for the future,
what you like and don't like to do.
You may wonder why we ask those questions.
They are used to help develop your goals, services, and supports.
So you can lead the lifestyle you prefer.
Be more independent.
And be an active member of your community.
It's also okay if you don't know how to answer them.
You can always call your service coordinator later
and give her or him the answer.
You may ask your service coordinator questions as well.
What happens after your IPP meeting?
After the meeting,
your service coordinator will write up what was discussed during the meeting.
You should receive a copy within 30 days of your meeting.
If you don't, call your service coordinator.
Once you get a copy,
read it to make sure it has what you wanted in it.
If you need it to be translated,
ask your service coordinator for help.
If you find something on your IPP that you do not agree with, contact your service coordinator.
Your services cannot start until you and the regional center agree on what is in your IPP.
What if you're not happy with your IPP meeting and the write-up?
If you don't agree with everything that is in your IPP, you don't have to sign it.
But you can also agree to some parts.
Write down what you agree with
and what you don't agree with.
Once you do this, the services you and the regional center agreed on can start.
If you are not satisfied with your IPP meeting,
call your service coordinator
and ask for another meeting.
You can call another meeting if
you don't get the services written on your IPP,
you don't like the services you get,
your needs change,
when you don't agree with the decision that will affect your life.
Speak up.
Speak up.
You have the right to disagree with your service coordinator
and the regional center.
You can ask for what's called a fair hearing.
A judge will listen to you and make a decision.
Remember,
an IPP is not going to help you with everything in your life.
There are plenty of things that you can do on your own or with your team.
But
the law says
you have the right to make choices about your life.
To get the supports you need to be a member of your community. What if I have more questions?
If you have more questions, contact your service coordinator.
You can also join your local consumer advocacy committee.
To learn more about how to advocate for yourself
or help others.
Find more information at www.westsidrc.org.
Sorry, everybody. We have more, but I'm just trying to pull them up.
The individual may be referred by the school. If you have a developmental concern about your child or a family member, the intake department will be your first contact at Westside Regional Center. Our goal is to make this experience positive for you and your family. People reach out to us for many reasons. The individual may be referred by the school, medical staff, a friend, or be self-referred. Intake Intakes may occur at any age, though the developmental issue must have started prior to the age of 18. The intake process is a free service, which is provided to all regardless of citizenship status. The first step is to contact Westside Regional Center to request an application. We will ask you a few questions to make sure that the type of assessment you are requesting is what we provide. Once you complete the application and include any helpful records, submit them to Westside Regional Center via email, mail, or in person. You will be notified if more information is needed or contacted to schedule an intake meeting. Try to submit as many documents as you can to help us better understand the developmental needs of the individual applying for services. These documents may include the Individualized Education Plan, medical documents, and other records. Collecting of these records can be an ongoing process during the intake. We also know that for young children, this may be the first assessment, and you may not have any prior records, and that's fine. Our Early Start program for children birth to 3 years old will require a series of home visits to help assess your child. Your story is important to us, as you know your child best. Your observations are part of the assessment process. Several professionals will be visiting your home to gain more information and perform assessments on your child to better understand their needs. For individuals over the age of 3, we will make an appointment for you to visit our office in Culver City. We will ask you to complete the intake interview and a psychological assessment. The intake process is a team effort, and all participants, including the family members, are encouraged to respond to phone calls and emails in a timely manner. The regional centers must complete the intake process within 45 days for infants and toddlers under 3, and 120 days for individuals over the age of 3. Once the assessment is completed, all the information will be reviewed by an eligibility team. If you or your family member is found eligible, you'll be notified by the intake team and assigned a service coordinator. If someone is not found eligible, we will refer you to other resources. You also have the right to disagree and appeal the decision made by us.
Sophia, I see you guys are back, so you're on mute though.
My apologies. Yes, I tend to put myself on mute all the time. Anyway, I just wanted to thank all of you for your patience. We did have this closed session was needed because we as the board have entered into final negotiations with a successor ED, and my fellow board members needed to be brought up to speed on the negotiations as they are. So thank you so much for allowing us to do that. The idea would be for the full board to have a closed meeting in August to finalize and approve the contract, and then sometime near the next public meeting, an announcement may be made, and we will be in touch with you as to how that proceeds.
And Sophia, my apologies. I'm just looking at the list of folks. It looks like some folks might still be in the breakout room.
Oh, okay.
And so I just want to make sure that I pull everybody over.
Okay, so before we continue with the next portion of the meeting, that would be needed.
And my apologies.
Absolutely, Kate.
Okay, I'm forcing them out, so they should all be returning.
Welcome, board members.
Welcome, everybody. Everybody should be coming back.
And we're back, right?
Yes. Sorry about that. When some folks started appearing, I thought everybody was coming, and then I realized I hadn't kicked you out. So you should all be back now. Welcome back.
So, members of the board, I did make a brief statement as to why we had gone into closed session. For those of you that were still stuck in the limbo of the breakout room. And now we can proceed with the next portion of the meeting, which is the board elections and the like. So I am actually going to ask Nilo, who is the current board secretary, to lead us through this process, and then take it from there.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vergara. We're going to be talking about the board elections, our annual elections. And I will at first read out to you the names of the board members for 2020 to 2021. Is there a motion to approve this list of the board of directors, the members of the board of directors?
I motion.
Is there a motion? Zoe?
Yes.
And is there a second?
I second.
And that is?
Elizabeth.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Okay.
Okay.
This is Alex.
Yes, hi, Alex.
I just wanted to make an amendment to the motion, or submit an amendment to the motion of the slate as read out just now, and ask that the board consider adding Dr. Sofia Vergara to the slate, if she will consider accepting the nomination.
Okay. Dr. Vergara, will you accept being on the slate for the board of directors?
Being that I do believe that there is some unfinished business with the incoming ED, I do think that I would accept being on the board to see that process gets handled and done. So thank you. Yes, I do accept.
Thank you, Dr. Vergara. At this time, the motion is amended to add Dr. Vergara. At this time, is there a motion for that?
Well, I was making the motion.
Okay, Alex, so in a second.
Vonda, second.
Vonda, thank you. Again, discussion? Any discussion?
Actually, Neil, I think that Myra is trying to say something, but I don't think she's able to unmute.
All right.
FYI.
Okay.
Myra, you should be able to unmute now. There you go, Myra.
Okay, I'm fine now.
Yes, we hear you.
Yes. I'm good. I wanted to check in because I couldn't get in. Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Did you want to add to the discussion? Are we ready to move ahead for vote?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. And public comment. And all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay, the motion is passed. We now have at this time 11 board members and plus, in addition, the SPAC representative. So that will be 12 people. All right, now we're going to go into the board officers' positions.
Okay, just a minute.
And the way that this works is if anyone wants to be, if there is a contested position or somebody wants to be considered for a position, if anybody on the board wants it to be by a secret vote, then we would have to have it by a secret vote. All right, so with board president, let me just go down the officer slate as it is. Okay, I'll just reading it out right now. This was posted on July the 8th at that board meeting. The board officer slate at that time was Betty Pearson Grimble, board president, Nilo Chowdhury, board vice president, board Vanda Young, board treasurer, and board secretary Todd Rubian. So we are going to probably go one by one on this. So we have for board president, Betty Pearson Grimble. Is there a motion to approve?
Wait, Nilo, I may have this wrong, but you normally vote the slate, right? Unless somebody doesn't want to vote the slate, right? Or are you just breaking it up now?
We can see about voting the whole slate in, or we can see about if there's anybody that wants to. Well, let me go through these and see if there's anybody that wants to be nominated to be for that office.
But
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Is there any other input on this before we start?
I just thought we were voting the slate, like Kemi was saying.
The entire slate?
Yeah.
Well, can I say something? This is Vanda.
Yes, please.
Just for the treasurer's position, back in May when I accepted it, my understanding, I told Betty that I'm accepting it as an acting person, because at that time, DDS needed someone in that position for the executive committee. So I said, yes, I'll tie over, because that's not my greatest gift or talent in, in treasurer. So yeah, I would love to have someone from the board who would like to step up to that position.
Sorry, Vanda, it's a life term for you.
I'd be glad to do anything else.
Well, Vanda, if you're only doing it acting, how does that work? Should we then go through the slate that way, starting with the treasurer, that you're only going to accept it acting until someone takes that position? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's my understanding when I agreed to it. Yeah.
Okay, so Nilo.
All right. The position of, do you want me to go through this one by one, each position? We have four positions.
Nilo, wait, can
Betty?
can I ask a question? So wasn't there a motion to have Sophia stay, and wouldn't that change the slate?
No.
No, it doesn't change the slate?
No, because the slate was sent out to everyone with, because at the time, wait a minute, I'm talking, excuse me, I just want to say something. At the time, we did ask Sophia Vergara if she wanted to stay in or be president, and at the time she said no because she was resigning.
The
So we
motion was
created a
to,
slate. We created a
the motion was to have her
slate.
stay as
Now,
the motion was just to have her stay as a board member, not as the president.
Right.
That's the chairperson.
Yes.
Can somebody mute for the? Okay, thank you. All right. Well, let's start. We have Todd Rubian for board secretary. Is there a motion or second on that?
I
Motion. I mean,
motion.
Is there any position that somebody would like to be nominated for?
Well, Nilo, either do each position or offer the slate as a whole and see where we go. But you keep waffling on what you're doing. So
are you talking about the slate with me in as president or Sofia Vergara as president?
Well, Sofia Vergara isn't running for president.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Well, let me qualify that. I don't know if somebody's going to nominate her.
Okay, let me take this back. Okay. All right, I'm going to read the slate. I've already read the slate. Is there a motion to approve the slate?
You can do it.
Is there a motion to approve the slate as given?
Yes, and can you just go through the names like that so everybody can recap if you want?
Okay. All right. Board President Betty Pearson Trimble. Board Vice President Nilo Chowdhury. Board Treasurer Vanda Young. Board Secretary Todd Rubian.
Okay. Sure, there's a motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
Is there a motion? Who would like to give the motion for this?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just said it.
And I second it.
Okay, who seconded it?
Myra.
And who did the motion?
Elizabeth.
Okay, got it. All right. Any discussion at this time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alex?
I would like to amend the motion to allow for a nomination. I would like to nominate Dr. Sofia Vergara for the position of board president.
Okay, is there a second on that amended motion?
Well, Nilo, first don't we have to deal with the slate? Like, he's doing a nomination, but that's basically saying he doesn't want to nominate the slate. Right, Alex? Because you want to add somebody else in.
I want to nominate Dr. Vergara for the board chair position. So by definition, I can't be accepting the current slate.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's a nomination from the floor.
Okay, so Nilo, does that mean that we can't, because we have a board member who doesn't want to do an up or down on the slate, that we then do each of the positions?
Wait.
Well, let's find out position by position if there's any contest on any of the other positions.
Okay, well then let's go through them.
Okay, Board Vice President Nilo Chowdhury.
Wait. Okay. Wait, am I still on?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, my phone is acting weird. So I'm just trying to go a little bit by Robert's rules here. So the slate was read. We had like a first and a second. We haven't voted on that. And then there was an amendment to add an additional person to the current slate. And then there was a second. So don't we have to vote to add that person on before we go through the whole entire slate again?
Yoni, you can't add her unless those two people are both going to be president, which is not something I don't think will happen. If we're
Well,
gonna,
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's my saying is that Alex made a motion, right?
Right. So he basically
and then you seconded it, and then don't we have to vote on that motion before we read the slate out again?
No, because you're talking about reading the slate out, adding her as an executive officer, which you can't do because that means she and Betty will, if she hasn't even said will accept it. What I'm saying is when Nilo put it up for us to vote, she got a motion from Elizabeth, second by Myra. Then she opened it for discussion. Alex said, he basically said by wanting to nominate Sophia that he doesn't want to vote the slate. So then that then becomes the new motion. The new motion is if he doesn't want to vote the slate, then we have to deal with that and see if other people don't want to vote the slate.
Okay, so Alex, who was the maker of the motion, actually has to agree to what's happening right now, according to Robert's rules, is what I'm trying to say. So,
but he has to agree to what exactly are you saying? He has to agree to
what we're doing right now. Yeah.
What am I agreeing
It's
to
very
again, Joni?
confusing. It's very confusing. So, Alex, all you got to do is say, yes, I agree, continue.
You gotta tell me what I'm agreeing to. Like, you have to spell it out for me. This thing is not sufficient for me to say I agree.
Okay,
to
well,
this
let me take this all back. Let me take it all back. What we're trying to find out at this time, if you have nominated an individual for an existing position, what I'm going to do is go down the list of other positions.
Which, by the way, Nilo, I'm allowed to do this according to our bylaws, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, well, let's start with, let's go with Todd Rubian as board secretary. Is there a motion for Todd to be board secretary?
Yes.
And who's that?
Myra.
Myra.
Okay, and a second for Todd Rubian to be board secretary?
Tammy.
I second.
All right, thank you. And Todd is in his third year of being board secretary. Okay, board treasurer, is there a motion for Vonda Young to be board treasurer?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Wait,
okay.
You okay. So
no,
you had
what we're gonna do, those that are, excuse me, those that are uncontested positions, we're gonna vote as a block. And those that are positions that have a nomination from the floor, we'll vote that separately. Okay, so we're going to go with Vonda. Board treasurer, is there a motion for Vonda Young to be board treasurer?
I give the motion, but I think you have to make sure you qualify it because she said she's going to be the acting treasurer with the expectation that you're going to find someone else at some point. Right, Vonda?
With new blood coming in.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there a second for?
Yes, I'll second it.
Who is
This
that?
Myra.
Okay. Okay. The board vice president, Nilo Chowdhury. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
I'd make a motion for
Myra
Nilo.
second.
All right. Todd, Elizabeth and Todd is the second.
And I contest.
Okay. So now we're going to vote those that are. Is there anybody who would like to nominate anybody for any of those officers that I mentioned, the vice president, treasurer, or secretary? Okay.
I'd like to nominate Dr. Fauci. I'm just kidding.
Can I, if I may be so bold, I know that this might require some intervention, some feedback from DDS. I don't want to be so bold. Can I not, if it's approved, could I nominate myself for VP?
No. Wait, no, you can't because you're a vendor. It's just like I can't. You work for a vendor, you're a vendor, so you can't. It's just like we can't vote on contracts or anything like that. Wait, did everybody hear me or no?
Yes.
Conflict
Okay.
of interest. Yeah.
We did, Joni.
Yeah, you can't, honey. I'm sorry. It's just like when you and I abstain for voting on any contracts, we can't do it because we're vendors.
Okay.
All right. There was a motion. We've had discussion and public comment, discussion. All those approving Todd as board secretary, please say aye.
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 Any and all those opposed? Those abstaining? All right. The motion is passed for Todd to be board secretary. For acting board treasurer for Vonda Young. All those in favor say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed? All abstaining?
Vaughn, did you want me to oppose?
motion-
I'm just kidding.
All right.
I would try to oppose.
All right. The motion is passed for Vonda to be acting treasurer. Thank you, Vonda. All right. This is for the VP spot. Any discussion on the VP spot? Public comment. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Those abstaining? Okay, the position for board vice president has been approved. So all three have been approved. Now we're going to go into the board president position where Betty Pearson Grimble is on the slate, and Sophia Vergara, Dr. Vergara, was nominated to be on that, to be for that same position. If anybody wants this to be a secret ballot, if anybody on the board wants that to
ballot, please.
Zoe, okay.
Zoe would like a secret ballot.
Okay, all right, that would be fine. So if even if one person wants a secret ballot, then it has to be a secret ballot.
Nilo, can I interject for a second?
Sure, please.
Before you talk about balloting, don't we have to see if the person I nominated would accept the nomination?
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
I will accept the nomination in that I really feel like there is a great deal of nuance coming to WRC in the future, and I remain committed, and I have been from the very start, to getting the best ED possible into the position. So I really would like to continue that process and make sure the onboarding goes smoothly, and I remain committed, as I have been, to CAT and the people that we serve. So in short, I would at this point rescind my resignation, and I will accept the nomination.
All right, so you have rescinded your resignation letter and you will accept the nomination. At this time, Betty Pearson Grimble, do you have a short statement you'd like to make?
Yes. Yes, I just want to say that having been on the board for 5 years and helped so many of the clients, such as Russell, everyone, navigate and going to meetings with them and be a part of the board, and knowing as VP and learning so much, that I do respect that Sophia Vergara was the VP, the president, but being nominated, I look forward to working with everyone, people on the board that I've worked with, David, everyone that I've had a relationship with. And when the slate was created, and I was so excited to move forward after having a son with autism and working in the community and doing so many things. So I just want to say that I respectfully would really love to work with the community and be the president that leads us forward at WRC. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. At this time, Kate, is Kate available? We will need Kate's help.
Wait. Hold on. So, I may I raise my hand? Am I unmuted?
We can hear you,
No,
Johnny.
we can hear you.
Okay, I know. Sorry, me and my loud mouth. Is there any way that we can ask some questions of both of the people that would like to continue on or continue or be chair of Westside Regional Center Board? Is there a way that we could do that? Because I think that's kind of important to like a lot of us. You know, this is like, it's right up there with an ED position, if you think about it.
Joni, can I speak?
Yeah, I'm done.
I thought that
I'll
Sophia and I gave a statement about, she mentioned how she had been on. So, I mean, of course you guys can ask questions, but I just feel like we've spoken and we both said what we wanted and to share. So I kind of feel like I want to move on, but it's up to the board at this point. So.
You don't, okay.
Well, look, if we're having a discussion could be statements, soliloquies, and questions. So if people want to ask questions, it is almost 8 o'clock. Can people ask questions? And I don't know if when Sophia made her comment that was what she wanted to say. I don't know if she felt like
I was just accepting the nomination, just to be clear.
Okay, all right.
So I think if Kate wants to set up the thing so people can ask questions and take comments, I think the board and the public have the right to ask questions.
But then now it's 8 o'clock and now, in which I understand what you're saying, but I just think that, I don't know.
We can sit here and belabor this, or we can let people ask questions. We've had meetings that have gone on till 10 o'clock. I'm pointing it out by saying we could spend time going over semantics of whether or not people should be able to ask questions.
You asked, or
we could just start letting people ask questions.
But you asked.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Is there any more discussion? Is there any more discussion on this?
Yeah, well,
are we ready to take it to?
Well, Nilo, if people want to ask questions, they should be able to send those questions to Kate. And how do they do that?
Well,
in chat.
And, listen, I'm the one that brought it up. Am I muted? I can never.
No, we can hear you, Johnny.
Okay,
we
so
can hear you.
I am the one that brought this up. And listen, I have nothing wrong with anybody on the board. I truly appreciate everybody's individual talents. I do. I think Sophia was given the short end of the stick. And my question would actually be, is that I've sat through a couple, 2 years of board meetings. And my concern as chair going forward is that there's a lot of reporting that's going to happen the next 12 months. And I'm not entirely sure. Betty, listen, I like you a lot, but I'm not entirely sure that you're going to be able to handle the reporting out.
I can because I have my master's from Cal State Dominguez.
Yeah, but you don't when you do.
Wait a minute, now you're arguing with me. You asked me a question, I'm giving you an answer. You're telling me, so really you're telling me that you're asking me the question to lead me on, that you're saying that Sophia is better and I'm not. And I'm telling you, when I was asked to be president a month ago, when nobody talked to me, when I did not know that there was going to be an election still for the position, I took it because I knew, as I did with VP, that I would be able to do it. So that's my answer to you. You asked me, can I? And I'm telling you I can. So.
Okay, and then the next question is there's a lot of contention within the service provider community, and that's going to be a huge, doesn't make any difference who's coming on the executive board. That's going to be a huge hole to fill up. And
again, when the questions come to me or Sophia as board president,
well, it's
I
both.
will definitely,
I
will definitely take them on and work through it, Joni. I don't have a problem. So I appreciate that you want to know if I can do this. And if I didn't think I could, and Sophia just said she wanted to be, then I would step down and say, give it to her. But I've been on the board for 5 years. I've been here, and I've met a lot of people, and I've met a lot of the vendors, everyone. So I think it'll be me getting to know more and getting to know more people. So I do appreciate your question, and I can. So thank you.
Just
Joni, did you want it?
Yes,
did you want both of us to answer? I acknowledge fully that there are some relationships that need to be mended, for lack of a better word, and I think that is going to be a critical piece of the job of the board chair and the board president, and I feel like I have had some very real conversations with various stakeholders, and I feel like these conversations can delve deeper as time goes by, and I'm ready and willing to really dig in and know a lot of what's been going on, and I feel like I am in the position where I can have those dialogues and be open about where my priorities lie.
Nilo,
Okay.
This is Alex.
At this time, yes, Alex, go ahead.
Just quick point, since I did make the nomination. I just want to make a statement that, like Joni, I really respect all the contributions of our board members, and I think people work so hard in so many ways to try to support the mission of Westside Regional Center. And all I can say is in the time that I've had the opportunity to work with Dr. Vergara, I just have been so impressed by, first and foremost, her dedication to the people we serve. It's the first thing on her mind. It's the last thing on her mind, as it is for all our board members. So I want to give kudos to Betty for her fearless advocacy of the people we serve. I also think that at a time when the people we serve are often marginalized and often left out of key discussions, and a lot of people make assumptions about what's best for the people that we do work for. I think that Dr. Vergara has just an incredible, powerful, unique perspective. She has guided the board through an incredibly challenging time. I think she's done her level best to work with the staff, with Dr. Kelly, with vendors, with families, with advocates. And I think that given the opportunity, it's also a chance, frankly, to hold her accountable for the work that will be done with the incoming executive director and the transition with our fantastic management and staff. So I think that the board owes it to her to give her a chance to really help shepherd that process along. And I know she'd do it as a board member, but I think as the president of the board, it will be a fantastic statement about what Westside Regional Center is all about and what it can be.
And wait a minute, I want to say in
thank you.
response to what Alex just
yes.
said, I'm sorry, that I'm on equity, I'm on the nominating, I go to conferences on the board, on WRC. I have a relationship with plenty of clients. I have a son and a brother that are clients here. So I also have a pulse on what's going on and what's happening with WRC. I've been on the nominating committees for 4 executive directors here, well, 3. I was on the nominating chair, so I do know about doing that. So I also have a pulse on what's going on here at WRC also.
Thank you. Kate? Kate?
Hi, Nilo. This is
yes.
Kate. I do
Hi.
have
Is there
comments.
any comment?
Yes, I do have some comments from folks who are participating. I'm going to acknowledge folks in the order that I'm getting them, okay?
Okay.
I do see y'all. Claudia Williams, I see you first. Let me go ahead. I'll ask you to unmute and you can answer.
Okay.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, how are you guys doing this evening? I have a question for our 2 nominees. I've been at Westside Regional Center since 2016, and the relationship between staff and the board has not been the best, or has been perceived as not being the best. And I would like to know from each of the nominees, Dr. Vergara and Betty, what is your plan in order to bridge this gap between the staff and the board in moving us forward and improving our relationship?
I can definitely take that question first. I think there needs to be a level of transparency that just hasn't been there in previously, and I think in the previous months we've definitely made some steps in the right direction. But I really do think that communicating every step of the way with what the board priorities are, especially as we're onboarding this new ED, communication of what our benchmarks are, for lack of a better word, is going to be critical. And I think, as I said, I think we've started that process, but there's definitely a way to go in it. And especially in these next few months, it's going to really be much more important, even still with the onboarding and everything that's coming down from DDS in the state. So I just think that a constant loop of communication with the staff as to what the board priorities are and what those benchmarks are and how we plan to hit those benchmarks is really what the priority should be.
Mm-hmm. Betty?
I'm still here. My plan is for us, what we had talked about on the board previously many times, that Cammie had suggested is having brown bag, that we sit down with all of the staff at WRC and the vendors and everyone, not just the staff, but the vendors too, because everybody needs to be included, to have conversation and to have where we make it comfortable and nobody feels left out. And also I've already started, and this young lady knows that Claudia, I have been on Zoom many times, and I've been at WRC many times, where I go to conferences, where I go to things at WRC. So I'm already a part of knowing the staff and knowing people and being there and working with people. So I just think that we need to be hands-on and get to sit down and know everybody and find out what's going on, and be involved directly.
All right. Anybody? Thank you. Kate, any other comments?
Yes. Felicia Ford, go ahead. You should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question, make your comment.
Okay, good. So I've been at Westside. My daughter's 18 years old. We've been through everything together, good, bad, you name it, we've been there. But we keep revisiting things. We keep revisiting this issue of an ED. There's always some faction or some group that says this person's good, the other person's good. It seems to me that we've been doing the same dance for all this time. And this question is actually for Dr. Vergara. Betty, I know you personally. I know you as a board member. That's how I met you, is at Westside. But what's going to stop some of this infighting or this backhanded stuff? I just hear all kind of innuendos and rumors and stuff. And doctor, you've already quit once, citing that someone was very difficult. I think that person may have been Betty. What's there to stop that next time there's some difference of opinion or someone wants something that another person doesn't want? I mean, that's kind of what we sign up for as board members. And even if we don't like someone, we have to be able to work with them and together with everybody and everyone that's a shareholder or a stakeholder in this to be able to kind of just put it all aside. And are we, with every step we take, is that what's best for our clients or consumers, as some people call them? But what's to stop you from quitting again the next time you feel someone's being challenging? And I just want to add that because of the situation we're in with Black Lives Matter, as a Black woman, when someone says that someone is challenging or difficult, that's code for angry Black women, and we don't accept that. We don't like the language. We don't like the way it sounds. When someone says they can't work with someone else, it totally turns into something personal. With all the education, all the talent that you guys have on the board, the executive committee, the staff, the volunteers, there's just an easier way to do it. I'm the most outspoken person that I know, but I can still work with somebody and I can still tell the truth. And that's what some of this is about, is truth telling. So I want to know what's going to stop you from quitting again, or from throwing in the towel and saying, hey, this is just too much. Or when I've seen tempers flare at meetings, I've been silenced. Alex even apologized to me once, and I thank you for that. But he apologized for shutting me down for a very crucial conversation about ASLA and the way they mismanage the handling of Black employees or lack thereof. I just want to know what's going to stop it next time if it becomes too much for you, or you feel someone's not being supportive or accommodating. I want to know that from you, doctor. And then for Betty, I want to know, you're very gracious. I don't know what happens on the executive committee. I've never been on an executive committee, I don't think, not for Westside. And I want to know, you're so gracious. And I think everyone's got pretty good personalities. I think it's a great board, but a bad mix of influences and what people want. And that's what everyone seems to be hell bent on, is getting exactly what they want. Can you guys do a retreat? Can you guys, I don't know why I said we, but can you guys just sit down and try to work things out so that we can hit the ground running and not waste money? You know, every time somebody calls somebody or talks to somebody or pulls somebody away from DDS or calls an attorney, we get billed from that, and it comes out of our client fund. And it just seems like much to do about nothing. And we're all old enough and mature enough to put some things aside. I don't care if I like someone or not. I can certainly work with them. So if you can just respond, I'll just come off.
I can respond. I agree with you 100%, Felicia. I think you need, as an educator, I've taught many years, and I've worked with a number of people, and the last thing that I want anybody on this call to think is that I gave my resignation as some sort of gameplay. I will say this, it came to a point where there were moments where conversation was being had, and my opinion was only validated when another person would validate that opinion first. So it wasn't this idea that I can't deal with another person's opinion and I'm just gonna throw my hands up if I disagree with them. That is not my personality. That is not the way I run. But when I feel like the only my opinion and the work that I put forth is only validated when another person validates that opinion first, and then I can be seen and heard as an individual who is educated and who is trying to do their level best for the people that are served. That is when I start having a real problem with how my voice is being valued, and that is where I was pushed to the point where I had to make a decision for myself. but given the fact that I have received comments from many people saying we really need your voice as an advocate for the people that we serve, and we want to see you finish what you started, I'm putting myself out there and saying I'm willing to do the work and I'm willing to continue what I started. But I do not want anybody on this call to think that I did these maneuvers of getting on and getting off the board and then accepting nominations back on the board as a power play because I'm trying to make some statement. I can't be in a situation where my voice is only validated by another person's voice. And that was where I had come to.
Can I
Thank
respond
you.
real quick? I'll just take 2 seconds.
Yes, if you can respond to this, we'll hear a few more comments and then we do have to go to a vote.
Okay, so I want to just say really quickly, yes, there was friction where people felt like, me included, that our opinions were not valid. And I didn't give up. I stayed in there and I was willing to go the extra mile and try to remember that we're not here for our personal combative attitudes or anything. We're here for the clients, the staff, the vendors, the people who need us to come here and deal with if we like someone or if we have a different opinion. And one thing all of these people know that I've worked with on the board, if the vote is towards, and my vote doesn't get what I want, I never walk away. I'm always there. I'm always there for the clients and whoever else to come in and do what I'm supposed to do as a board member, no matter how I feel personally. So no, I think that as board members and as people that I volunteer, that we need to come and we need to come and be ready to deal with all personalities, because so many different clients have so many everybody, staff, everyone. So I just want you to know, no, I'm not going to resign if I'm counted in as president. So thank you very much.
Okay, Kate, can we have just because it's getting late, and if somebody can just give comments without having the two individuals respond.
Hi, Nilo. Yes, in the chat box, I have a question for Betty. As the chair of the nominating committee, why have you not recommended any new people to the board in the 3 years that you've been on the chair? And especially given that now the board will only have 11 folks.
So that's not true, because we brought in Sophia and Vonda on the board. And the reason why, once we went through everything with technical support with DDS, we were told to halt and make the ED search priority. So there was a period where we were transitioning Carmine out and bringing in and working with Envision. So that's why, but now we have been given the green light that we will be able to accept applicants. And I'm very open. From what I know, there are a lot of them. So we're very open to start back to letting people on the board. So thank you.
Okay, is there any board member that has a comment before we go to public comment? Any board member?
Nilo, I'd like to say something. And this is going to be a little difficult. I think if there is an issue, there has been issues on the board, and they did not start with this particular executive team, but they've been there for a while, and there are people on the executive team, and I say this about Sophia. She's very solution oriented, and I know for a fact, because I've seen it happen and I've heard her, when Alex spoke about, the people who we serve being marginalized. And I have to say, she was marginalized on this board. She was disrespected by people on this board. And I'm not sure, Felicia, if a question to her about challenging being a code word for you know, angry Black woman is usually attitudinal or something like that. That's not something I think was an appropriate question to ask her. But I do think there were tensions. She was disrespected. And I think even with this whole executive team that was put together, ironically, there was, Sophia was still willing to do it. And then there were, and I don't want to go into all the drama behind it, but there was drama. People are in positions because those were, they were trying to put together a slate, not necessarily of the people who wanted to do it, but it was to preserve certain people being on the board. I had no problem getting off the board, but after the way she was treated, and at some point you have to go to your own self-respect, what you're willing to put up with. And I commend her. She did get a lot of people who called her, who were upset, angry, and just befuddled that here we are, Westside Regional Center, had a person we serve acting as the president or the chair of our board, and to be completely disrespected by other people on the board who are parents who have children who are here. And again, her comment about she could say 1 + 1 is 2, but to have other board members ignore it until Alex or Cammie or somebody else said 1 + 1 is 2. And I know
I'm gonna say something.
I know I'm making that very soft.
I have something to say.
I let you talk, you let me talk. So I know what she's talking about. And even in spite of all this, she is still talking. We have talked about the things she wants to do with CAC, the things she wants to see happen. And she voiced her concerns to me, and I have concerns too about making sure certain things happen going forward. And again, she is solution oriented. And just because somebody says something positive about one person doesn't mean that you're making the negative connotation or the assumption on the other person. So I just want to put out there, I've seen it. I've been on the board. I've seen how she has been disrespected. I cried one day when she called me how she got disrespected. And I do think she does a very good job. Again, she's solution oriented, and the fact that she's willing to step back into, to me, what is like a hornet's nest, but it's because she is tenacious and wants to do the right thing. And I'm really trying to speak to everybody about that. If people pick Betty over Sophia, that's their choice. But Sophia, I don't want anybody to think that she doesn't have it. She had it. I think she's been the best board president we have had since I've been on the board. I think she is somebody who has a good relationship with the staff. I think she is working on a relationship with the vendors. I think a lot of the staff respects her. She not only shows up to meetings, she writes reports. She does all, she follows up. So there's that. So I just want to make sure there's not this presumption that, oh, she's weak or she doesn't have it or any of that. So that's all I'm going to say. I have a lot of respect for her, and I'm really embarrassed that there are people on this board who disrespected her.
I want to say in response, I'm sorry, I have to say something. And when I was working when we had to do the new slate, you brought it up. And I was asked to switch, I said no. And that's when the contention became between me, you, all of us. Yes, it did. You brought it up, I didn't. I was willing to work past that. I was not spoken to for over 2 months. For 2 months by the board members. I was not spoken to. So you guys talk about being transparent. There was a moment where I did not have a voice. When I would call and say, I want to be included on meetings, I would, and stop. And that's true. So to sit here and make it seem like it's a narrative where I or anyone else did not respect Sophia Vergara is not true.
When you hang up on people on the phone, that's disrespectful.
Okay, you guys stop it.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
No, you started it. No, you started this, Kevin.
Ladies, hold on.
Okay. Well, okay, you guys, come on.
You started this.
Hang
and
on.
why it happened.
All right.
You make it
You
seem
guys-
like
All right, guys.
Wait,
no,
you
you
guys-
make it seem like all of a sudden. No, wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me
You
finish.
guys,
We're not
hold on.
doing this. We're not doing this.
This is not productive for the public to see. We're not.
Tammy brought it up.
Okay.
No, hold
Okay.
on, buddy.
Okay.
Tammy
We're
made the
not
narrative.
going to-
Tammy,
We're
she
not
made
gonna
the narrative.
resolve whether
I have been silent for a long time.
whether you
I
and
have
I
been silent
love
for a
each
long
other.
time.
Okay, I'm going to ask for silence. Silence from everybody, please. At this time, we are going to have to go into a vote. We're already into 8:17. Unless there's a comment from the public, one more comment, and then we have to take this to a vote.
Hi, yes, I have a question as to why the service coordinators have not been more involved on board nominations and appointments. They're feeling very left in the dark, and they don't feel like there's communication between them and the board.
Is there any other comments on the chat?
There is a comment regarding wanting to know about providing leadership and increasing utilization of services by Latino and Black folks in the community. And then there are some notes that folks want to respond to things that have been responded to.
Okay. At this time, are we ready to go into a vote?
Yes, please.
And this would be a vote by secret ballot.
I just want to clarify, this is Kate, y'all. After talking with everybody, my understanding for secret ballot is that you all would text me your vote. I'm not going to give out my public phone number on this forum, so if you do not have it, I can private chat you or you can get it from someone else, but I am ready to accept everybody. I will be keeping it completely anonymous.
I need your number. Malaysia.
Me too.
Okay, I will go ahead and message you folks on here privately, my number, and otherwise folks who already have it can send me it.
Ah.
Did you text it to me, Kate? I'm sorry.
She's gonna private chat you.
Oh.
I don't have that text number. I need a number.
I need it again. I'm sorry. I need it again, Kate.
Can you not see the chat box?
Yeah, this is Todd. I need the number.
Hi Todd, I'm sending everybody private text message chats in this box, but I have to do it by hand. I'm not going to give out my personal number to 100 people.
I got it. Now I got it.
I did not get it. I don't know how to go to the chat. Oh, there it is. Okay, I went. Sorry.
Kate, this is Vonda.
Wait, hey, Vonda, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you guys at all.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
What the heck?
Joni, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You guys are like on whisper. Wait, Vonda, is that one of those amazing pens that all of us teachers use?
What?
Yeah, see, I can barely hear you guys.
You can hear me.
It's
You're very
weird.
clear though, Joan.
And maybe I did something to this.
Hey y'all, is everybody who needed it Did everybody get my number who needed it?
Yes.
I'm voting now.
Thank you, Marcia. We did get Russell's vote.
Wait. Oh, wait.
Kate, you have mine, right?
I have yours.
Thank you.
Mine. Kate, you have mine?
Kate, this is Myra. Did you receive mine?
Hi, y'all. They're still coming in, and I have to double check against what I have. So I promise I'm getting them, and I'm tallying them, and I'm trying to keep them as anonymous as possible for everybody's privacy.
Hey, Kate, by the way, I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you very much.
We can hear you.
Oh.
Yajun. Hi, Yajun. We can hear you.
Okay. No, I just wanted to say thank you very much for facilitating these meetings. We are a lively bunch. We're passionate people.
And I would like to say, Tom, thank you for everything, being the interim ED.
Yes.
You really
Yes.
sort of held the fort down while we looked, and I know you made the decision not to apply, and let us know where your heart is. But even after you did that, you kept doing all the things that needed to be done. And I really don't think anybody could have done the COVID-19 and pandemic better than you have.
No.
I really appreciate it working with you. I will still be around, but thank you very much for everything you did and your patience.
Holy crap! Yes, because he has such big patience, and I just said the C word. I'm very sorry, and I'm not on mute. Darn it! But yes, Tom. I mean, all of us, including the staff. I know the vendors just appreciate everything that you've done, and I know that you stepped into something and you made it work. And I reiterate what Cammie's saying, and I know that all of us feel that way, and you need to be applauded. Definitely.
Right.
Hey, y'all,
Definitely.
I only have 10 votes.
We need 14. So.
Thank you, Cammie, and thanks everyone. I really appreciate the words of support. It's been an interesting year for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you for your leadership during these hard times. And thank you for all the management team, all the staff, and all the vendors. It's really tough time.
Yeah.
It's been a team effort. It really, I cannot solely take the credit. I think this has been everybody, and I've got a great leadership team and a great management team and a great service coordinators and staff. It's really a remarkable crew that's gotten this done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you to all of you. You've, done over and above for all of us. Thank you.
And I agree, because especially throughout this past 5 months, it's been amazing. Everybody's guidance. It has been phenomenal. I mean, between Mary Lou and the executive team and Rhiannon and Megan and everybody making sure that everything's up on the website, it is phenomenal. And so thank you all very, very much. It means a lot to us service providers, and hats off.
Kate, are you still waiting on 4 votes?
Yes, I'm not. I don't have Zoe. I just sent you.
I texted
number.
you. I texted you it.
Can you tell me the last 4 digits of your phone number?
8808.
Sorry?
8808.
I did not get it.
Maybe for those texting the answer, if there are members who didn't want to vote, who wants to abstain, maybe you can still text your abstaining vote to Kate. So
I still only have 11, y'all. Okay, 12. I'm missing.
Hey, you might have just got my number. It's 3288.
Yeah, I have a list of folks, and so if I didn't have you in my phone, I've been adding you. So
Did you get my
Who are
vote?
the 2 that are left?
Todd, I got you.
Kate, did you get my vote?
Yes, I got you, Todd. Thank you.
Great.
Alex, are you ending 7891?
Yeah, I just texted you. I realized I didn't give my name.
Nope,
Apologies.
that's okay. I have you. I'm just clarifying
Yeah,
who
yeah.
I'm missing.
Yeah, that would have been.
So that
helpful
means
for
I'm
you.
missing David Wiles, who I know was joining us by phone. David, if you can hear us, you're welcome to give me a call if you're not able to text. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still missing 2, y'all. Who am I missing? Oh, I'm missing Joe Allen and David Wiles. Let me.
I don't see David Biles here.
Yeah, David Wiles was having some phone issues. I do see him. David, Hi, David, I unmuted you. You don't have to tell me your vote on this forum, but what's the best way for me to get you my phone number so you can call me?
I just saw your phone number, but I can't get off this in order to call you.
You are welcome to hang up and come back into this meeting if you're comfortable doing that. The meeting will still be open for you.
Sure, I'll do that right now.
Okay. And that'll be the last one, y'all. So just hang tight just a little bit.
Kate, I just sent a text.
To my phone number ending 2596, right?
What's that?
To the phone number ending 2596?
No, my phone number is ending in 6974.
No, I meant, did you send it to my phone number that ends in 2596? Because I don't have anything from you.
Oh, let's see. I got something from Cammie. Oh God, this is. I ran out of.
Something from Cammie while we're voting. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kate's number. All right.
Would you like me to call you? Would that be easier?
No, I'll call you. Can I call you or text?
You are welcome to call or text my phone number. Just as long as you're calling my cell phone, because I can't get text on my office phone.
Right. Well, I think I'm calling you.
Yeah, David, I was texting you Kate's phone number.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. And all right, I got to write something down. Oh, it's crazy. This technological stuff.
David, your phone should be ringing. I'm going to try to call you. Hi, hold on one second because everybody on the call can hear you. So I'm going to mute you so that your vote can be private. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you, Kate.
I'm just going to count. Okay. Nilo, how would you like me to do this? Would you like me to read the vote, or do you need me to officialize it in some way and send it somewhere?
You can memorialize it by sending it to me. You can go ahead and read the vote. If the majority would be 8 out of 14.
So hold on, sorry, Joan, I see you. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourself. It won't let me unmute you, but I did mute that ability. I can't hear you. There you go.
Nilo, it needs to go to you. And then Nilo, you read the vote off. It
Okay,
has to go to Nilo.
Can you send me the results?
Just text it to her, Kate. Just text it to her.
Just text it.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just 13 people.
It's 14 people. Somebody abstained.
Okay. Can you send that just one more time for me, just to confirm it? Okay, I've got that. All right, at this time, shall I read the number of votes for each person?
Neela, just tell
Or just
us
if somebody is a majority?
Yes.
For a majority, or read the votes for each person?
Read the majority, Neela.
The majority is Betty, and one person abstained.
Okay.
Congratulations, Betty.
Congratulations, Betty.
Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats, Betty.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Betty
Thank you,
Pearson.
Todd. Thank you. Thank you, Kate, for everything you did for us. I really appreciate it. I want you to know that.
No problem. Sorry that was so bumpy, folks. This is a brave new world of technology.
So, as far as I understand it, the last thing we have to do here is we're going to end the night with another round of public comment. I know it's really late, and I appreciate people's patience, but we will end tonight with public comment and then be done for the night.
Judy Mark has her hand raised.
Yes, I was just about to start. Thanks for your patience, folks. Judy, you should be unmuted.
Hi, everybody. I had wanted to say something during the discussion earlier when you allowed Felicia Ford to speak and didn't allow any other folks to speak after that. I have to tell you that was really offensive to me, that it seemed like Sophia was in any way being called racist. But Sophia is such a class act that she responded in a way that was really, really classy. And I just want to say that back in 2015, when things were really very dysfunctional under a previous executive director, we had realized that the way that the board had been working for many decades at Westside is that they'd never allowed a person being served, a person with a disability, to serve more than 2 years on the board, that they would rotate them off every 2 years to give more people a chance, which basically meant that a person with a disability had never served as an officer at Westside Regional Center until 2015. And that's a really big problem. And Sophia is the first person served who's been the chair of the president of Westside Regional Center. And the fact that her perception of the way she's been treated is that she hasn't been heard and that she's felt disrespected is something that I think everybody needs to pay attention to. And that the staff needs to pay attention to that, and that they need to make sure that the board in the future is always respecting the people that we serve, because they should be our leaders. I believe all of the officers should be consumers and not, and let them lead the way. And the other thing I wanted to say was that there was a comment by saying that why aren't service coordinators involved in the board? There's a reason why staff is not involved in board selections. The board is there to provide oversight of Westside Regional Center. They're not supposed to be close with the staff. They're not supposed to be hanging with the staff. They're supposed to be providing oversight. they have the fiduciary responsibility to do that. And I really hope that as this new board moves forward, and I know there's not a lot of you, and that you bring in as soon as possible more individuals onto the board. But I really hope that as you move forward, you will continue to take the lead of the people that we serve, and that you will provide the appropriate oversight of the new executive director, whoever that may be, as well as staff in general, on the way that Westside Regional Center responds to the concerns that we hear in the community. So I want to once again wish good luck to Betty, to the new board, and hope that Sophia continues to stay involved in all of the great advocacy that she has done for Westside Regional Center. Thank you.
Hey, I actually have a quick question, jumping on the back of what Judy just said. So Sophia, because I don't think that can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Fonda. I feel so blessed that you always say yes. It's such a good
all night.
So my question is, Sophia, I know that you resigned as the chair, but will you continue on in the board? On the board.
Yes, on the board.
Not in the board, on the board. I know, yeah. I know, Elizabeth. Yeah.
No, I'm just laughing because I was about to ask that question too.
I will continue on to be able to finish my commitment to onboarding the new ED.
But wait, after you're done with that, but you still have, you're off the board after that?
Let me process things, but I remain committed to what I set out to do, and regardless of what happens, I'm committed to the people that we serve and to really making sure that this ED is successful.
So you're still on the board?
Yes, I am on the board.
Okay.
As of right now.
Okay. Thank you, Sophia.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And Sophia, we need you to be on the board.
I will be there.
Please.
What Vonda said.
Oh, I agree too. I still want her to be on the board and work with us. I'm hoping that she will. I hope she will stay on the board.
And wait, Sophia, I think the board need to know. Oh, sorry. I'm not talking over you. But I mean, like Judy just commented, I think it's the wake up call for all of our board members that we need to really respect each other and support each other when we want to, help WRC thrive, right? So, let's start with ourselves.
Thank you, Vonda. I appreciate that.
I just want to thank everybody on the board, since this is going to be my last board meeting, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have served over these last 5, I think, years. And I will never forget my experience at Westside Regional Center. And like I said before, my hope is to continue to serve to help uphold the mission of supporting the people that we serve in whatever capacity it can. And I wish you guys nothing but the best.
So I'd like to just go on really quick here. I don't want to make this for a 10-hour board meeting, but Alex Soshin, I can't believe this is going to be your last one. I'm very bummed, and I'm really sorry that you are going to take off. I want to say thank you for your leadership, for your guidance, for your service. And I really hope that, you still stay on as as someone who will help guide the board and be a continued voice for people who, really don't have it and need it. And you are so knowledgeable. So thank you. And thank you as well, as you know, Miss Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia, Betty, I hope you guys can talk and we'll be able to work together really well, because I really value you, Sophia. And I value the both of you, and it breaks my heart when I see this kind of conflict. In fact, I'm actually feeling really triggered, and I think I'm gonna sign out for tonight.
It's okay, Zoe.
I'm sorry.
No. It's okay, Zoe. Zoe, it's okay. I get it. It's okay. You've got this. It's okay. Take a deep breath. You've got it. It's all right. It's all right.
I'm gonna log off.
Okay. Okay.
Zoe, I appreciate everything you're saying. There's really, I've said this before, regardless of what happens, I'm on the board. I'm committed to what I said. I always stood for. I realize that I'm not on the executive committee, but I will finish what I started, and my commitment has never wavered.
Okay.
There you go.
Commitment has
Okay.
never
You see,
wavered.
Zoe?
Yeah, Cammie, Alex, I'll miss you guys too.
Yeah.
I just have to log off because I need to collect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Zoe.
Okay, y'all, there are some comments in the chat box. Anonymous person, great to have Sophia back. According to bylaws, Sophia is a past chair and is part of the executive committee. She will be able to fully participate in the onboarding of the new director and the leadership group for the board.
I am aware of that as well. I will be ex officio on the exec committee.
Yes,
As
that
my
is
predecessor was
in
before
our
me.
bylaws, and it's in ARCA too. So that
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm the new Alex Soshin.
I think there's a lot of people are going to be happy to see the back of this head. So I don't know that you are the one and
No, but
only
I
Dr.
love that.
Vergara.
It's like it's perfect. It's it's perfect.
Hey guys, I just want to note that we do have some consumers, obviously, that want to be mindful of time, conscientious. So
Right.
thank you.
And I do have another comment asking for board members to make a commitment to take or retake person-centered training, the PCT training that WRC offers, to ensure that people who are served by our agency, sit on the board, have their voices heard.
100%.
Wonderful. We have 3 certified trainers for that now. Megan,
yes, you
Steven,
do,
and Rhiannon. So if you have questions about that, you can contact them or you can contact me and we can get you hooked up with all of those trainings. Felicia, go ahead and unmute. It looks like you say you have a comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to something. I know Judy made a comment and so did Cammie. It was not that I called Dr. Vergara a racist. I was talking about language and the way that things are said. I've heard things, I've seen it in writing, and I'm not blaming her for this because it was a larger conversation. And I just take exception to that when there's a Black woman that is being called difficult because she has an opinion or she doesn't do or acquiesce to whatever everyone else's whims are. And that's it. I've never meant she's a racist. She's one sharp lady. When I see her, I think of all the possibilities of what our clients can do at Westside. I think like, wow, like I haven't gone 1/8 of the distance she's gone with education. And I respect you wholly, Dr. Vergara. That was not my thing. It was a statement about racism. And as far as Judy making that comment, Judy, I have to tell you, you've never done anything for Black folks as far as I know. If you have, let me know, but you haven't done anything. And when I speak to issues about Black people, that's isolated because I am a Black woman and I have a right to say, when I hear something, I have a right to call it out just like you do. You do it all the time and everybody else has the same right. And I don't want to feel polarized by your position or what you do or the work you do. I respect you too. But if I make a comment, that's how I feel. And you can't argue with my feelings or how I think about something or what I feel about wording or verbiage. You just can't. And congratulations to Betty. And thank you, Dr. Vergara, for staying on. I think we do need your help and your support and your leadership.
I appreciate that, Felicia.
I don't have any more hands and I don't have any more comments.
I guess the last thing I'm going to say before I sign off as your board chair is that it's been an honor and a privilege. And as I said, I will stay on as ex officio, but it is my last meeting chairing you, and it's been a wonderful time. And I do thank you all for your patience tonight. I know it was a bit of a circus, but and I do want to extend my congratulations to Betty, and I will work with you in everything that needs to get done for now and the future.
Thank you, Dr. Vergara.
Thank you.
I appreciate that,
Thank
Sophia,
you,
because
Sophia.
I've always enjoyed working with you, and I appreciate you and I respect you so much. So thank you.
Thank you.
Adjourn.
Hey, are we adjourned? We're adjourned.
Yes.
Yeah,
I call it.
adjourned.
We're adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, folks.
Motion granted. We're done.
Thank you.
Good
Please stay
night.
safe, everybody.
Thank
Stay
you, Cammie. I'll be calling you.
Please do.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.